Hello, my dear students. I'm glad to see you at my English lesson. My name is Неклюдова Евгения Анатольевна. I am an English teacher in Odessa's Lyceum number 81. Let's start our lesson. Today, we are learning phrasal verbs. Отже, що таке фразові дієслова? Phrasal verbs – це свого роду ознака, за якою можна впізнати англійську мову. Лінгвісти між собою жартують. Вимовляємо фразове дієслово, маємо на увазі англійська мова. Фразовий вираз існує як поєднання дієслова і прислівника або прийменника, як єдину семантичну одиницю. Phrasal verbs несуть смислове значення виключно за такою схемою. Verb plus preposition, verb plus preposition plus adverb, and verb plus adverb. And now, let's watch the explanation and learn some more information about phrasal verbs.
Phrasal verbs. They're very common in spoken and informal English. They indicate action. They're made up of two parts, a verb and a preposition or adverb. For example, stand up, sit down. In these phrasal verbs, the adverb or preposition comes directly after the verb. Sometimes the preposition or adverb is placed after the object. For example, put your books away. We can also say, put away your books. The order of the object and preposition or adverb can usually be changed unless we are using a pronoun for our object. For example, let's use the pronoun them in place of the books. We say, put them away. We cannot say, put away them. If using a pronoun as the object of a phrasal verb, it must go between the verb and preposition or adverb. The meaning of some phrasal verbs are more obvious. They're literal. Stand together with up means to stand up. Put with away means to put away. But many phrasal verbs are not literal. They're figurative. The meaning of a phrasal verb can often be something completely different to the base verb. This means that phrasal verbs need to be memorized individually. Take this phrasal verb, make up. The verb make means to build or form something. You could make a pizza. But used in the phrasal verb make up, the meaning is completely different. Make up refers to people forgiving each other. I wanted to make up with my friend after our fight. Here's another phrasal verb, look up. It can be used literally. He looked up in the sky. But the same phrasal verb can be used to mean to search for information in a book or database. He looked up the word in his dictionary. When you come across a phrasal verb you don't know, try looking for clues in the sentence to help you work out what it might mean. You might be surprised how often you can work them out. In the meantime, get practicing. Try starting with our 9 phrasal verbs for beginners video.
Phrasal verbs дуже поширені в повсякденній мові британців і американців. Тому дуже важливо знати хоча б найпопулярніші з них. Багато такі словосполучення є аналогами наших дієслів з приставками. Dry – сохнути, dry up – засихати. Але найчастіше вони утворюють зовсім інші значення. Наприклад, catch – ловити, catch up – надолужувати. Here are some more examples of the phrasal verbs. Наприклад, drop out – викинути. Keep on – продовжувати або зберігати. Talk into – умовляти. So, let's look at some more examples of common phrasal verbs with get. Get up – вставати з ліжка. Get on – сісти в транспорт. Get off – знімати одяг. Get into – потрапити в пригоду. Get over – подолати щось. Phrasal verbs with take. Take away – забирати з собою. Take off – вийти з транспорту. Take over – подолати щось. Take down – записувати. Some phrasal verbs with tone. Turn on – увімкнути. Turn off – вимкнути. Turn into – перетворитися. Turn out – виявитися. Turn over – втягнути когось у щось. Phrasal verbs with put. Put on – одягнути. Put off – зняти. Put aside – відкласти в сторону. Put down – покласти вниз. Put up – поставити наверх. And now, let's practice your knowledge. Grammar practice. Your task is to complete the sentences with the phrasal verbs. And now, let's check up your answers. And now, let's listen and identify some phrasal verbs in our daily life. You will also practice your listening skills.
Hi, Irene.
Hi, Ariel.
You seem a little under the weather. What's wrong?
My car broke down again. And I ended up coming by bus. I had just picked it up from the mechanic a few days ago. But the repair didn't hold up. Can you believe it? The car engine gave out again. I can't rely on my car any longer to get me where I need to go. It just wears me out.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I really need to buy a new car. I started putting aside money every week. I earn money freelancing online in my free time.
Wow, that sounds great.
But I can't keep up with my studies this way, and I always fall behind. I have to catch up on my classes all the time. As soon as I buy the car, I'll give up the job and focus on my studies. Hey, Lisa and I are going to a concert next weekend, and I have an extra ticket. Would you like to come along?
I'm afraid I can't. I'm flying out to Canada next weekend for a cousin's wedding.
Really? You're not afraid of flying anymore?
Of course I am. I'm freaking out just thinking about flying. But I'm trying to get over my fear. I'm not going to run away from it any longer. I've decided to step out of my comfort zone. Fear is not going to hold me back from now on, not anymore. I just don't want to miss out on the chance to do so many wonderful things just because of my fears. I'm now ready to take on a new challenge.
That's a great idea. Yes, go for it. Open yourself up to new experiences. You're going with Brian, right?
I'm going with my sister. Brian and I split up a while ago. I'm the one who decided to break things off with him.
I really didn't know that. But you had been going out with him for so long. Isn't there any chance for you to get back together?
No, it's over between us. He let me down. I used to think he was my soulmate. We couldn't keep away from each other. But our relationship started to fall apart gradually. He turned out to be very selfish and rude. He began to think that the world was revolving around him. He was obsessed to stand out wherever he went. I am exactly the opposite. I prefer to blend into the crowd. He was showing off most of the time, trying to make a really big impression on everyone. He began to look down on people and laugh at them easily. Not even I could ever measure up to his expectations. That's how he made me feel. We started to get into fights pretty often. We were fighting over small things. He was getting down on me more and more for the way I dress or talk. Usually I was the one to give in. I couldn't put up with his behavior anymore. I felt so unhappy. Most days, I would just put on a happy face, pretending everything was fine. We didn't seem to have as much in common anymore, and we began to grow apart slowly. What originally brought us together was our love for music. He was playing the guitar in a band. He used to be so charming, and he could win everyone over. So it was easy for me to fall for him. When he first asked me out for a date, I was on cloud 9. But he became very successful, and that brought about this change. So our love story started out great, but ended up horrible. I couldn't just sit around and wait for him to come to his senses. I couldn't wait around forever. Enough is enough, and I'm not going to stand for it. So it's all over. Now I'm picking myself up and I'm moving on.
You did the right thing. It isn't fair to yourself to stick around in a relationship that makes you unhappy. You should never let anyone put you down and disrespect you. This goes against everything I've been brought up to believe in. Brian should grow up and learn to respect people. Nothing can knock you down. You are a strong girl. An exciting future lies ahead of you.
You're such a wonderful friend. Thanks for boosting me up. It's great to know that I can always rely on you.
I'm glad you opened up to me about your problems. Anyway, you've blown me away with this news. I thought you were the perfect couple.
Well, things aren't always what they seem.
Thank you for your attention. I hope this information was useful for you. See you next time on my lessons.